there is a strange way in which being paranoid and having the feeling that everyone dislikes you and not wanting that, wanting everyone to like you, is connected to a way in which you can interpret spiritual phenomena, like synchronicity. Because if you personify other people, if you project people to be people that dislike you, that's the shadow that you're casting onto them, or that's the aspect of them that you're focusing on, then it's easy that when you personify spiritual phenomena, or you perceive personality in spiritual phenomena, that is to say, when you perceive omens and signs and synchronicities that seem to be conveying a message, if you're already looking at people as being something that dislikes you, you're probably going to see the person of synchronicity as being someone who dislikes you very easily, so that things will be interpreted as being bad omens very easily. And it will seem maybe as if you've been given bad signs and ultimatums and moral judgments that, signs and symptoms seem to be pointing towards judgments of different kinds, and judgments that are coming from a feeling of a harsh kind of judgment. I think that it's as if a paranoia towards people constellates into a paranoia towards spiritual phenomena, that suddenly everything can be read in a dark light. And yet, if you can learn to enjoy or see the good and natural side of being disliked by people, to embrace the reality of being disliked by people as being just as good as being liked by people, then bad omens can be read in a very different way. Suddenly it doesn't seem as if doors are closing and opportunities are being lost and the signs are showing all this to you, but more that you start to see that maybe the symbol wasn't the omen wasn't a bad omen to begin with. It was simply an omen, a sign. It has a good side to it and a bad side to it. It's kind of like a tarot card, right? That it can have a bad interpretation or a good interpretation, and it can have both at once. It can carry both energies at once, right? An energy that says, like the symbol of, the Tower card, or the stuff like that, where yes, something could be changing or very suddenly, and that could be simultaneously something very good and something very difficult, right? So I think that things that from a paranoid point of view can seem unequivocally a bad omen, I think maybe can sometimes be just simply omens without the good or bad. They can have both a good and a bad side to them. I don't want to close the door to the possibility of there actually being bad omens, in the sense that, if something bad is going to happen to you in the future, you might start getting a lot of precognitive dreams warning you about it. I think that is definitely a thing that can happen. Or good omens that simply seem to celebrate something that is happening to you. But in a paranoid state of mind where you're just trying to avoid, I think it's when you're trying to avoid the difficult aspects of things, that they come up more in your face, and they can create the illusion that a sign is 100% a bad sign, when, again, the death card isn't a bad sign or a good sign, or seeing this symbol, this synchronicity, doesn't necessarily mean that this bad thing is going to happen to you. It can mean both at once. It can be symbolically both at once, both a good thing and a bad thing, or or neither. And just being in that different mindset can open up a lot of different doors. It can make certain omens less cataclysmic. It's less like it's less apocalyptic, I think, because suddenly it becomes less time bound. It becomes slightly more eternal, because the fact that both the good and the evil are balanced out in the symbol allows for a whole different set of decisions and possibilities that the ego can traverse. The ego finds itself more in its power, in its role as decision maker, in the middle of something akin to eternity through the relationship to symbol, something like that.